Elas não vêm para o palco. Não querem sentar-se? Ou preferem ficar aí?
Ok. Sentado sim, fica na mão, depois quando eu me levanto já...
Muito bem, muito bem. Atenção, aí é...
Está ligado. Bem, Evelyn. A ventaria. Consigo ouvir.
Obrigado.
Muito boa tarde, creio que já me estão a ouvir. Muito boa tarde, obrigada pela vossa presença. Eu começo só mesmo antes de começar, gostava de saber se toda a gente compreende português. Someone who speaks English here only? One person. Just one? Como é que querem? Preferem fazer? Ok. So we may speak in English because we have some participants.
Isto liga-se.
It's not working. Okay, so welcome to this presentation of the Teacatlantic project, project training for employability and technology in the Atlantic. This is a project financed by the EEI grants, which is the Blue Growth program by the GPM Portugal. So without delay, we're starting with some short videos about these programs.
O Acordo sobre o Espaço Económico Europeu, em vigor há mais de 20 anos, foi estabelecido entre os países membros da União Europeia e os Estados EFTA, Islândia, Liechtenstein e Noruega, onde partilhamos uma identidade europeia assente em responsabilidades e valores comuns. O Acordo estabelece um mecanismo financeiro plurianual, os EEA Grants, com 2 objetivos globais: reduzir as disparidades sociais e económicas e reforçar as relações bilaterais entre os Estados doadores e os Estados beneficiários. O Mecanismo Financeiro 2014-2021 é o 5º quadro financeiro a beneficiar Portugal. Com a assinatura do Memorando de Entendimento, iniciou-se a implementação dos EEA Grants, que se estenderá até 2024. Em Portugal, o mecanismo EEA Grants 2014-2021 apoia 5 programas: Mar, Ambiente, Conciliação, Igualdade de Género, Cultura, Sociedade Civil. O programa Blue Growth Innovation and SMEs reflete a forte relação bilateral entre Portugal e os países doadores sobre as potencialidades do mar, com particular enfoque na inovação e nas pequenas e médias empresas ligadas à economia do mar, bem como nas áreas de investigação, ciência e tecnologia. No programa Environment, Climate Change and Low Carbon Economy é dado especial enfoque às questões da economia circular, de baixo carbono e alterações climáticas, assim como da conservação da natureza. No programa Work-Life Balance and Gender Equality será promovida a igualdade de género e a conciliação entre vida pessoal, familiar e profissional. No programa Cultural Entrepreneurship, Cultural Heritage and Cultural Cooperation será promovida a cooperação cultural, o empreendedorismo e a gestão do património cultural. O programa Civil Society visa apoiar iniciativas da sociedade civil, refletindo o firme reconhecimento do terceiro setor enquanto agente ativo na promoção da governação democrática, direitos humanos e coesão social. Neste programa, o operador nacional é definido através do processo de seleção promovido pelo Financial Mechanism Office. Paralelamente, existe um fundo para o fortalecimento das relações bilaterais. Este fundo destina-se a reforçar as relações de cooperação já estabelecidas com os países doadores e também a explorar novas áreas de interesse bilateral. Saiba mais na página do Ponto Focal Nacional em www.eeagrants.gov.pt.
Pela inovação e desenvolvimento da economia azul, pela defesa dos ecossistemas marinhos e costeiros, através da utilização sustentável dos recursos naturais, através da aposta no capital humano. Surge o programa Crescimento Azul, financiado pelos EEA Grants. Sobretudo no apoio a pequenas e médias empresas, no suporte à investigação, ciência e tecnologia, na promoção da educação e formação profissional, o mar no centro do desenvolvimento sustentável. EEA Grants, working together for a green and competitive Europe.
Thank you. So now I'll call here Maria Mineiro from EEA Grants program in Portugal. Okay. Hello, good afternoon everybody. Muito boa tarde a todos e a todas. Thank you very much for the invitation. As the national focal point representative of EEA Grants, it is a great pleasure to be here to join the presentation of Teacatlantic project. First of all, I would like to greet the host of the event in the person of Carla Domingues from Fórum Oceano, the project promoter. And I would also like to greet Sandra Silva from the GPM and the partners of the initiative, Universidade de Lisboa, Universidade Católica and Colégio Valsacina, and all the participants that are here today. We are very pleased at EEA Grants to have approved funding to support the Teacatlantic project, which will allow raising awareness and training for school students, including the ones entering the labor market, as well as workers that are in emerging careers and also in employment in the blue economic area. And for those of you that are not yet familiar with the grants mechanism, I understand that you were able to check a video which has the main information, but just let me give you some brief information, because EEA grants result from an agreement on the European Economic Area between the European member states and 3 EFTA countries, Norway, Iceland and Liechtenstein, granting their participation in the internal market. And the parties to this agreement, they created the financial mechanism known as EEA grants with the objectives of reducing social and economic disparities and also to strengthen bilateral relations between the donor countries and the beneficiary countries where Portugal is included. EEA grants has an allocation of 102.7 million euros, supporting 5 different programs: the Blue Growth Program, Environment, Culture, Work-Life Balance, and Civil Society. And it has a special fund to strengthen the bilateral relations between these countries. The Blue Growth program that supports the Teacatlantic project has a special importance within the scope of EEA grants. Not only because it has the most significant global financial allocation in the funding period, which is 39 million euros, but also because it has a broad scope of areas. The blue economy with a focus on SMEs, the research and innovation, and also the maritime education and vocational training, where the ocean literacy plays a very important role. It is also a program where there is a strong bilateral interest with EEA grant donor countries, such as Norway and Iceland, due to the importance that the sea has for these countries. And we all start from a similar context with common challenges, and we share an agenda with the oceans. In general terms, just let me give you some highlights about the mechanism. We are halfway through the implementation of the current financial mechanism that will close in 2025. And we are very pleased to share with you that on June 16th, we started the negotiations for the next funding period between 2021 and 2027. And we hope this important support for Portugal continues after the negotiations, of course. And now, finally, I would like to wish the greatest success for the project, which will contribute to raising awareness for the ocean in its multiple dimensions, and also to establish a great collaboration between all the institutions involved. So thank you very much, and let's have some more information about the project. Thank you. Thank you. And I would like to thank in name of the promoter for this possibility that allow us to have this so important project, especially for ocean literacy, and as we will see in the next during this presentation. Now, so I will call Sandra Silva from the program operator from the GPM.
Hello, good afternoon. Are you hearing me? Okay. So I'm Sandra Silva. I'm from Director General for Maritime Policy. This is the program operator of the Blue Growth program. And as you've seen in the short video, the Blue Growth program has the main objective to fund projects in order to develop business with innovation in the blue economy, and special focus on the SMEs. And to bring innovation on projects and business development, of course, we also need research. And for this, our program also has a component from research, not only dedicated to business development, but also to improve the knowledge and the monitoring of the sea. And the last but not the least, because this is all combined, when you are talking about innovation in business, we are talking about new products, new services, or new technologies. And for this, of course, we'll need to improve the capabilities of the human resources, and for this, education and training is very important. And for this is one that we will be presented, one of the projects that were granted in the education area. Of course, the main objective, I will not explain the project because this will be a task for the promoter, but this will be a good example how in education programs, in our program, you can have a part to more understand the young people, the new careers that can be focused on the maritime affairs, also to bring new courses in training, because in some areas there are some gaps that are identified and need to be fulfilled. Just to finish, we are in this environment, in the UNOC event, and this one sustainable ocean, and I'd like to share with you that all the projects funded by the grants and especially by the Blue Growth programs in somehow are related with sustainable development objectives of the Agenda 2030. So I think this will be a good contribution for this proposal. And of course, the last but not the least, the ocean literacy is a very important component that we also improve in this area. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandra. And so now during the next minutes, I will call here our project partners. well, you have the opportunity to learn more about what is Teacatlantic project and the importance of it. And for example, this morning we had here Peter Thompson, the special envoy from the United Nations for the Ocean, and he was talking about the importance of the technology and the possibility of it for the new business. And we have to start with the young people. So the training, young people, that's the aim of this project, but also during life that we have all the training that is needed even when you're starting your profession and during the lifetime that the environment is changing, everything is changing, we need to adapt, and without this training there's nothing. So this is the starting of everything, to have a sustainable blue economy. So we need this continual learning. So and now I will call here José Guerreiro, that is one of our, is representing Faculdade de Ciências from University of Lisbon, that will give us some more information about the project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to present our Teacatlantic project funded by grants, as you well know. As coordinator, scientific coordinator of this project, is my task to present a project overview. As a scientist, I would say that we have 4 specific goals which fulfill the main goal. And the main goal of this project is precisely to train technologically skilled professionals oriented towards the blue economy, but responding to the needs, to the real needs of corporations linked to maritime and blue economy. And this is one of the first second specific goals that we want to develop. And that means specific training. So that's what we are going to do, specific training for real needs. But one of the other needs for the modernization of blue economy and our network of companies working in maritime economy is precisely the innovation. And the innovation must be linked to the research centers in Portugal and to the research that is going on the several centers, particularly in those marine labs and centers as Mare Center. This means that we need to match the needs, the real needs of corporations developing new technologies to create added value with the research that is being developed in our centers and do the matchmaking. But it is also important to create ocean literacy. Most of our young students at high schools do not understand that there is professions or blue careers, new blue careers, which are highly evaluated, linked to biotechnology or even to space science and so on. They usually, and as we know in Portugal, there is a lack on our curriculum at high schools on ocean literacy. And this is a program that was already tested with the pilot project this year, quite successful. Our partners from the College of Alsacina will explain better than me. And finally, another gap, it's the training for blue entrepreneurship. And this is to develop and upgrade a new postgraduate course, Sea Science and Business Administration, linking science with entrepreneurship and training for blue entrepreneurship. So this is a complete scheme from the beginning at the high school until the university, training linked with the real needs of the private companies. For that, we have a specific network of partners together with our promoter. I will explain exactly the role of each one of these partners and supporting partners. As you know, Fórum Oceano is the maritime cluster in Portugal recognized by the Portuguese government. So it is the stakeholder linked to maritime economy. More than 130 partners, and all the companies which are linked with blue economy in Portugal, together with the international partnerships in the international partners. So this, the promoter obviously will link to the real economy and will be one of the most important roles in the project, linking to private companies. The next one, well, I'm suspicious. I'm from the Faculty of Science of Lisbon University, from the Mare Center. But I wish to tell you that the Faculty of Sciences has a long tradition in what we call the marine science. Not only by creating in the late 80s the Mare Center, by the way, the biggest research center in Mare in Portugal, developing research in every continent in the world, by the way, and furthermore, actually we began developing marine science since 1974 in the Faculty of Sciences in Portugal. So we do have, as you probably know, a quite good hardcore of researchers and scientists dedicated to the marine environment and technology. Following, we have Catholic University, because this is not only about the hard science, it's also about policy, governance, and marine affairs and lines that are researched with the law of the sea, as we know in this conference. So our partner from the Catholic University, as you may well know, it's one of the most well-known internationally private universities in Portugal, not only by its institute dedicated to political studies, but also with the maritime affairs specific line of research, and also, as you will see, a business school dedicated and supporting entrepreneurship. One key partner, precisely for ocean literacy, the key partner is our colleagues from Colégio Valsacina. Colégio Valsacina is not here by a random choice. Colégio Valsacina has a long tradition of practical training mixed with the scientific and more theoretical training. And furthermore, is one of the members of the Blue School program, which means that the school has a line dedicated to include in the curricula the issues related to the ocean and to the learning of marine and maritime affairs. So this is one of the best Blue Schools that we know, and they are obviously in charge of the training of the students, of the finalist students that are going to university. International partners. Obviously, we have a Norwegian partner, but it's not any ordinary partner. GCA, Ocean Technologies, some of you already know, what is GCA. It has a very, very interesting history, because in the beginning it was a company dedicated to oil and gas exploitation. But indeed, they evolved to mariculture, renewable energies, technologies linked to robotics, and so on. So they diversified their core business, the initial core business, and now they constitute a cluster to innovating in ocean science, technology, also promoting the new entrepreneurship programs that also they are developing. They are based in Norway, in Bergen, as you know, but they are one of the main partners of these projects, supporting also with their know-how and already participate in this pilot project at the Colégio Valsacina. Alfred Wegener Institute. Most of you probably know Alfred Wegener Institute as a Center for Polar Research, because they have some of the best research vessels in the world for polar research. Actually, our partner is leaving, I think, today or this weekend to the North Pole with some students of us. But the question is, Alfred Wegener Institute is one of the best well-known research and technology transfer office in all Europe. And they had plenty of experience on transferring technology, developing patents, and also supporting entrepreneurship programs. That's what they are doing with us. Actually, they just finished also a Blue Entrepreneurship program recently in Portugal. So one of the best in Europe. At last but not the least, an institutional partner, which is Lisbon Municipality. Lisbon Municipality, as we all know, at least those who, as me, are from Lisbon, is long developing the concept of the Atlantic capital. So they have a specific working group dedicated to ocean, and the people in that group are long ago developing programs linked to ocean literacy and also to develop, together with the university, Blue Hub, as you know, which is a hub dedicated to incubate blue entrepreneurship startups. So we have gathering all these institutions of staff, a baseline staff of 30 different people with different skills, from the law to the pure science and technology or to the economics. And these colleagues of us, each and every one of these colleagues has their specific roles in this program. Is it complex, the structure of the program? Well, we try to do it as simple as possible. A management structure, which is obviously coordinated by our partner Forum Oceano, and a scientific board with representatives of each and every one of the work packages. As you may see, we have basically work package dedicated to vocational training, which means the participation of the Colégio Valsacina and the municipality and Faculty of Sciences, employability training team, linked together work package 3 and 4, as you shall see why is that, and finally entrepreneurship post-graduation program team, which will be presented by my colleague from Catholic University. Okay, what are we going to do? The first one is the vocational training, which is the program that we already test with a project, with a pilot project that ended recently at Colégio Valsacina, and I will not speak about it because my colleague from the Colégio Valsacina on and will finish this session. But basically, it's a program destined to basic awareness of the students for the possible blue careers to develop and trying to interest them in a career dedicated to the ocean and maritime affairs. And so it's also ocean literacy and dedicated to ocean sustainability. For package 3, well, this is to me and my colleague Ricardo Mel and my colleague Wanda Brotas at the Faculty of Science of Lisbon. But it's essential the participation of Forum Oceano in this work package. It has two main components. It's a research question dedicated to the private companies. Which type of workers do you need in the next decade to develop your business? This is an inquiry, that is a questionnaire that is going to be developed with the partners of Forum Oceano, as you know, around 100 private companies, just to ask what kind of skills do they need for their workers in the near future. And then to prepare a specific training program to fulfill those needs and to train to those skills that are needed. I must recall, I don't know if some of you know, but the last time that such a questionnaire or inquiry or study trying to assess the skills and the type of workers needed for the blue economy was made more than a decade ago. There is no updated data on this. So this is the first time that we are going to develop a direct questionnaire to the private enterprises asking which type of workers do they need. We shall see which type of courses will come out of it. But nevertheless, this is the phase that we are entering now, which is to develop the inquiries and the questionnaires and direct interviews at the companies, which is coordinated by Foro Oceano. But there is also another question. And the question is very simple. Which type of research is being developed at the research centers? Let me go back just for a moment. Which type of research is being developed at the Portuguese Research Center? And does that research, those outputs of that research, fulfill the needs for innovation and creating added value for the private enterprises? Being the private enterprises, the classic ones for fish food or biotechnology or aquaculture or whatever. And so, again, inquiries and questionnaires and direct interviews will be conducted both at private corporations, asking for their needs to incorporate new technologies in order to create added value, and also at the research centers, which type of projects are you developing that can fulfill these needs, or if there is not a match, to find the necessary funds, both private and public, to develop new research dedicated to the real needs of private corporations in ocean economy. So this is very important. On one hand, training skills, on the other hand, training and developing research for the real needs in the what we are used to develop. The fourth, training for employability. Okay, this is the result of the questionnaires in Rincar, identifying the needs for specific training. We had to the project some examples of which type of courses and what would be the structure of the courses. This is a tentative approach. No contents are yet developed. This is a first result of the experience that we have together with Foro Oceano. Probably this will be the list of training courses which are formatted as a unit of 3 SCTSs. So this will be also credit by the university as specialization courses. So this will be double credit, not only for the skills of the workers or the candidates or the students, but also with a specialized, recognized specialized course for the universities. Aquaculture, nautical tourism, blue biotechnology, sea mining, industry 4.0, cybersecurity, and so on. Obviously, these thematics can be changed in the results of the inquiries and questionnaires that we are conducting, and the contents of the courses will be adapted also as a result of the needs identified with the questionnaire. This will be launched, we hope, during the end of this year, beginning of the next year at the most. So there will be 9 courses for those who are asking what is 3 STRS. It will be around 30 hours of direct contact with the students, and the rest will be developing work. And finally, work package 5 intends also to fulfill a gap. Some of the students, particularly the students at the university, sometimes, okay, I want to be an entrepreneurship, a blue entrepreneurship. How can I do it? what is the path to develop my idea of business. And this is precisely what we are going to develop. We already tested it in a presential form, but the idea is to develop a postgraduate course together with the Faculty of Science in Catholic University. My colleague will explain immediately what is it about, but nevertheless, it's dedicated to C, science and business. And that's the program that we are going to develop during the next months until the end of 23. And I do thank you for your attention. And I give the floor to my colleague Sonia from Catholic University. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to thank first the EA Grants Program and Blue Growth. Thank you very much for the opportunity for us to develop this program. And thank you also to Fórum Oceano, the promoter of the project, and to the other partners that had us as partner in this program. We have been working together for a long time, mainly with Faculdade de Ciências from University of Lisbon. We worked together for almost a decade now. It seems almost impossible, but it's true, and it's been a pleasure to also learn from the University of Lisbon the sciences specificities, and to join and to discover new realities when we join what we call the natural sciences or physical sciences. I never know what to call it, but with the political sciences and international relations and economy and law. So it's been really a tremendous learning process, and we have been doing this already for almost a decade now. In fact, that's what brings us to this program of training for entrepreneurship. We are not doing this as a starter. We are building on a vast experience of a track record of more than a decade on Blue multidisciplinary research and training for multiple audiences. We have been developing advanced programs for executives, for young students leaving the universities already that want to have a holistic and complete vision on what is the sustainable blue economy we've been talking about specifically all this week, and how to find a way to be part of it and to develop the ideas. And for us, it's been very interesting to accompany these young people that are amazing scientists and have really good solutions for some of the problems that we debate, and helping them with my colleagues from Lisbon Business School, from Catholic Lisbon Business School, to develop their own projects or entrepreneurship. And then with Fórum Oceano also to receive some of the very interesting projects within established companies that want to develop new concepts, new products, new lines of production within the companies, and help them to also find the way to lead them to the market. So it's been really a journey of development and of growth. So this is what we are trying to do with this new program. It's building, as I said, in this decade of work, which also comprises a first test, as Professor Guerreiro said, of a post-graduation, a multidisciplinary post-graduation that combines all these areas of research and expertise. So going back to political science, law, economy, and in the international environment. So we are trying to find a new answer to the challenging environment we are in. And as these challenging environments require, we are designing a bold and innovative answer that adapts to the needs of the markets and of our researchers that want to bring their amazing sciences to successful businesses, as I read in the University of Lisbon. And it's a pleasure to do that within this consortium. Thank you very much.
Fecha também.
So, good afternoon, all of you, and thank you for all our partners. I'm one of the teachers that were together with the students, working with them, and I'm trying to understand if they were their fears, their courage to do the work. I taught with them economics, and since the beginning, I can tell you, we had these trips, sometimes all of the students together from science and humanities and economics, and we tried to figure out how to get them involved in these field visits. And from the beginning, some of them were trying to say, to look at this oyster culture is not for me, I'm from economics, and some from humanities say, oh, this blue is very difficult to get the policy on this. So in the field, we sense the illiteracy of the students on the ocean issues. So, and it's very good when we get to the end and to receive feedback about the, especially my students on the economics, they said, well, our project really went well. So in the beginning they say, it's not for me, it's like the blue is so far, I'm not interested in blue things. So awareness of the blue issues and ocean issues is a good thing starting from the high school in this case, and not only from university or postgraduate students or wherever. So it's very good for them to know that they can be involved and get their part on this. So we had these field trips and class sessions where they get first contact to, well, not the first, because his Professor Gray said we are a blue school already, so some awareness is being around, but the sessions were putting effort on this literacy, ocean literacy. And then we got this project-based learning where students focus on the initial problem and then got together with these questions to this research cycle, and then to create and get data. And of course, for science students, it's easy because they are getting well with this cycle of problem and investigation, research. For economical students from economics subjects, they also had this problem, but they lack this investigation and role. So what we tried to do was put them together to ask questions to the public or to civil society, to say, is this our problem okay? You feel the same problem? Some projects, we're not presenting them here, but it's like do you fish, or do you like this kind of fish? Do you know this kind of fish? So a problem of overfishing and some of these issues. So this investigation is more in the social field and not in the natural field. So like trying to put them together to overcome the difficulties that we that we understand that they had. And from the humanities that were also involved in the project, they had this more difficult understanding about how to investigate, but then in the end they present a very good project about to get it was a quiz for the youngsters about ocean literacy. So all of them have this role, and about this policy or ocean policy, they can have this this awareness on this aspect also. Of course, when we enter the cycle of entrepreneurship, things change a bit. They get involved. They were building their own project, and so all of the trips and all of the sessions were putting together to solve a problem with a goal. The goal was to make a prototype. It could be an app, a website, or some physical prototype, in a pitch session where they had to sell the project, the product, or the prototype or the idea. Okay, and they had 4 minutes to do so. And this was the goal, and all of the teams got to the main goal. The idea, the problem. We had the partner, Católica partner, when he went there with us, working with the students and to get them involved on this. And we saw the in my students. Well, I don't know, but I think I can speak with the others. My students, they were getting involved with these ocean questions deeper and deeper. There was one group that would try to solve the pollution in a bay, a Portuguese bay, where they usually go in the summer. So they related really closely to a problem affecting them. Not just I want to save the ocean or clean all the ocean. No, just that bay. So it's very good to see what they bring here. Their own connection with the ocean. So all of them follow this, the idea, customer, the product market fit, and then prototyping. Prototyping is really important for them to see something happening. Right? Like the science classes, it was easy because they do the research and they present in all the packages, but for services, mainly the economical students, they present how they could present the service or the app. So it's more difficult, but they need to be creative on this. And so these are some of the projects. The winner project was one, they call them Plastic for Fun. So it's more or less like a van that goes to the beach, close to the beach, and present them as we can keep your kids for 1.5 hours and you can rest, and we get them to recycle plastic in some prototypes like a pencil case, or there was some toys, all them from recycled plastic, and also some other awareness service or awareness messages about the ocean. And the parents could rest. They present them really good in the pitch. They also had some prototypes. They have some flyers. So it was really good for them to be able to win this. All of them were winners, of course, but they feel very. And even so, the other ones are from the science teams. Ostrakol is like just to smash the oysters, the shell of the oysters, and correct the soil. And the other one is to use the salt. And so then they feel that we could use the ocean and ocean literacy to see some of the professions that are connected to ocean and not only the research ones. For my students especially, it was really important for them to go through this process and to end, and even to finish first and say, so a service connected to the ocean can be a good idea, not only research about biotech or some other science-related things with the ocean, too much related to algae and all of this, and they say, okay, some services and some other ideas can also be the future. Economics also is related to the ocean. So I thank you all. It was a pleasure to have them to work on this and to overcome their fears about to develop a project. And the last thing I want to say here, all of them, they said, we need to make multidisciplinary teams. So it is difficult to get them together because they are from different subjects, economics and science, but they said we need to get all of us to make teams together. Science with economics and with humanities, we work as a team. It's difficult, like logistically, to get together, but most of them said it will work better if we work at like youngers, but with multidisciplinary teams, like we were trying to do as in university. But them, they feel so young that they need this partnership. Okay? So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sure. For sure, it's very important. Partnerships are fundamental, and if we start starting like young schools, for sure it's very important for the future, as we see here of all the partnerships that we have during this week. And so we are ending our section, but before that I would like to invite you to visit our website that is just recently launched, teacatlantic.pt. We have our social media also, Facebook and Instagram, so if you need any information we'll be updating. And for sure the example that we have from Oceano do Meu Futuro project, for sure it will be a success, the continuation of it, and with all this experience it will be great. And so we have maybe 1 or 2 minutes for any questions from the audience. I don't know if anyone wants to have a question, alguma questão da plateia? No? Everything is clear. Okay. So please, keep in touch. If you need anything, just let us know. It was a pleasure. Thank you all for being here. And so enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you very much.